Great. All right, can I get a motion to open the Halifax Board of Health meeting Wednesday, June 21st at 6:32 PM?
So moved.
Great. This meeting is being recorded and can be viewed on YouTube, being recorded by Area 58. Tonight's agenda includes items from the 6/7/23 meeting that had to be canceled due to lack of quorum. Disposal works permits. Public hearing for 6, so we're gonna skip over that for now, that says 7 p.m.
7.
No, that's one that we want to do right now.
Oh, okay, it's
We'll
at
do
7, so I
that.
didn't know,
And
okay.
then if you'll stay, Steve, we'll, should be able to ratify the other ones right through, and you may be helpful with the septic work for Halifax market.
Not a problem.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, so what do you got for local upgrades and variances, Bob, for 163 Plymouth Street?
So I'll let Steve tell you the scope of the project.
Okay,
And he'll actually describe. He provided me tonight with the butter notification, which is DEP, and they have no concerns, so
Okay.
we're all set for the butters.
All right, you want me to copy the plan?
Yeah, we have one right here,
Yeah.
which did go out for design review. And they said to approve the plan, but I don't approve a plan that has variances or local upgrades until the board votes on it.
okay,
The other one, ratify and go with it.
Okay.
This is a little different, just so we can see.
If we want to take a peek, this is it's a fairly small lot. And it's on waterfront, it's on Plymouth Street, Route 106.
okay.
And this was the house, apparently there was squatters in this house for quite a while. It was, yeah, it's the.
We're
it's
very
the-
familiar.
Yes, I saw the file. I saw the file. A person known to me bought the house from the bank, and we started trying to figure out what we could do for septic. So
Yeah.
the very first thing they did was they had the property surveyed by Webby Engineering. I have that plan, I've used it as a reference. And because I knew we were gonna be asking for some lot line variances. So what we have is we have the edge of Monpont Pond, and we are just 100 feet away. And that's the object, trying to stay as far away from wetland, the wetland resources as you can. So we have a existing water service over this corner, that's been verified. And when inside the house, we found the invert. There's only one invert out of the house, an old cast iron drain that comes out to, we believe, a septic tank. This is gonna be pump crushed and filled. And we'll install a new septic tank, a new 1,500 gallon tank. And I was able to fit with only one local upgrade approval request. And we were able to keep it 10 feet off the lot line here, 20 feet off the house, and we had to go 5 feet to the edge of roadway. And that was where we needed that little extra area. The actual edge of the road is about another 10 feet beyond the lot line, so it's a little deceiving when you look at the lot. You think it's a really big front yard. It's really not very big at all. So we were able to meet all the requirements for area. Water table was pretty simple. I mean, we're about 22 feet in elevation above the level of the pond, so it's quite a bank in there. And so the water table was never an issue. The soils were very good, well drained, coarse, medium coarse sand. And that's what was enabled us to fit this thing in there. So this was all designed to be H20. These chambers are all H20 so that we can put a driveway back over it, because the only place we had was the existing driveway. We'll vent it off to the side of the lot. These folks here actually have a vent in the same area. Their septic system is right over in this area. So we're the 10 feet from the lot line. So we're more than enough to set back to their septic system. And that's about it. I think, and if you have any questions, we'd be glad to try to answer them.
Any concerns, Bob?
No, It- You know, the distance to the road is a very common variance, especially because obviously the road's there. And if you remember the property from before, that camp was stuck out way further than where
Yeah.
the end of the septic's gonna be. So, no, we're, you know, as long as he gets approval on 310 CMR 15.405, then that totally meets Title V variance, request.
Perfect. Any other thoughts or discussion on that? No. All right, can I get a motion to approve 163 Plymouth Street, the local upgrades and variances 1 through 3, 310 CMR 15.405, 1 A, B, and G, it looks like.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, terrific.
Thank you for the explanation.
Okay, and I'll sit tight for the
Okay,
other one, the other thick file.
Any
Three of
issues, oops, sorry, Bill.
go ahead.
Any issues with B through F? It looks like you've approved all of them. We're reapproving Monpont.
All of these were, already went through the review engineer.
Perfect.
Some actually had absolutely no changes to them.
Great.
And whatever change the other ones had were very minimal, so
Okay.
they're ready.
Can I get a motion to approve disposal works permits B through F as listed?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Steve, just for the record, would you state your name?
Oh, sure. My name is Steve Nelson. I'm a registered sanitarian, and I was the one that did the design work and stamped the plan for 163 Plymouth Street.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, Bob, discussion items. Halifax Market and Deli.
And if you just please come up, MD, and state your name and what you do.
Face the music.
How are you?
Good, thank you. My name is MD. I'm from Halifax Market.
All right, so is this what summary, what we're dealing with here?
Yes, if we start at the top part of
Okay.
that quick agenda.
Perfect.
The recent Halifax Market opened up a breakfast shop,
Okay.
which, fine, everything went through, and opened up a Mary Lou's.
Yes.
Okay. Came upon knowledge of me that the maintenance contract that's in place for the alternative technology that's there had expired.
Okay.
So tonight, Steve just happens to be involved with Clearwater Recoveries, which is a service that also does that contracting and is fully aware of what alternative technologies are. So I asked Steve if he might be able to stay so that he can enlighten, I know what alternative technology is,
Yeah.
but why not use a resource when it's sitting in front of you, not driving them out of the way? Then this will educate MD and anybody on the board who has plus or minus knowledge of anything. So I just thought it would be in the best interest of what could happen with a coffee shop.
Okay.
And so Steve, if you'd like to maybe explain a little bit about alternative technology. It's currently a white knight system.
This is a white knight system, correct?
And then where my concern is coffee shops seem to have a higher than normal septic failure. And much of that is usually due to the monitoring of BOD, bio-oxygen demands, pH, especially pH maybe, and nitrogens. And that's why this particular system had to be installed there.
Okay.
So, now I give it to you,
Okay.
Mr. Nelson.
Okay, so on a normal septic tank, it's just the water comes in, settles out what'll settle floats what will float, and what goes out is about 50% clean. So what the white knight does is the white knight on the outlet end of the tank, it's actually a kind of a, almost like it's a whole system that bubbles a little bit of air inside the big T. What happens is it inoculates. That's what they call the stuff. We call it, just for reference, it's a bag of bugs. And we have to keep replacing the bugs because as the oxygen comes up, the bugs become active. And the idea is that they do a little bit more treatment in the septic tank before it gets to the leach field. On an ordinary septic system, and this is what Bob is alluding to, on an ordinary septic system, that water that gets out of the septic tank can still be pretty strong, have some pretty serious load. And then the leach field has to take care of it. And what the white knight does is take some of that treatment back into the tank. And it's a fairly simple system. This particular one has, I think if I remember, it has like 3 blowers and 3 filters.
Yeah.
So it's you know, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of stuff to it. We took over the job for the previous owner, I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe. And it's working okay. It's got a couple of moments. It's had a couple of moments. We've had to rebuild a couple of the blowers, but it's working okay. And when the ownership changed hands, MD was unaware of the requirements. I don't think he was made aware of the requirements. I don't think anybody ever said anything. It was just, here's the property, have a good time. and along comes the requirement to have this. And especially when now you're starting to provide food service. And that's where it's going to be a little more critical to try to pre-treat this stuff before it gets to the leach field. So.
That's it in a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
But, you know, hopefully.
So the requirement is a yearly inspection to make sure the tank is working properly, is
I
that what we're
believe that
talking
one's
about?
quarterly.
That one could be quarterly.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
double check.
We have the original, and I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah,
But I
quarterly.
think it's quarterly, it's every 3 months.
Every 3 months.
Okay.
Every 3 months.
Every
yes.
3 months to basically open up the system, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
And will you, though, also provide us with the 3, like the BOD, the pH, and
I
nitrate sample?
believe we have to do
Once
that
a year.
once a year.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, the rest of it is, what we do is, there's an assumption DEP made about 10 years ago. And they said, if we do field tests, we do field tests for turbidity, we do it for dissolved oxygen and for pH. And that's just done in the field with instruments we have in the vehicle. And the assumption is if those 3 are within some kind of a parameter, then you're in good shape. And then it's verified once a year by the actual lab test.
And those reports come to me,
Okay.
and then I review them. And if I see a weird spike, it's happened over at Walmart before, I just make a phone call and say, okay, and.
What are you doing about it?
Yeah, what are you doing about it? And
Okay.
and bring it back into compliance. But
Okay.
it's totally new for, MD here.
Okay.
Steve's, been a trusted resource. We've worked together for years. Former member of the Rockland Board of Health. So I said, why not get him in here? And,
Yeah.
Awesome.
he was here anyway.
And I remind my guys, we're all licensed operators. We've all been doing this. We do various technologies. There's a number of technologies out there that do treatment work. And we're all licensed operators. And I remind these guys every day that we're not there to just look. If there's a problem, and if the guy in the field can't figure it out, we'll get together and figure it out. And we've been successful about 99.5% of the time getting them back in order. So
Perfect.
the nice thing about checking something quarterly is that it can never be more than 3 months out of compliance.
Perfect. All right, and now you're aware where you're
Yes.
good with, okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Awesome. All right, I think that's, so,
I just thought that would be
Not
helpful
knowing
for
and now
all
you're
of us. and-
yes, perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you for the
Appreciate
explanation.
your time.
And nice meeting the new members of the board. Yeah, it's like a whole new deal here.
Nice to meet you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, I'm all set.
Thank you,
You're
Steve.
all done.
Thank you.
Nice meeting
Thank you. Take
Get
care.
rolling when you can.
Okay.
Appreciate your time, Steve.
Take care.
I got one there.
I'm not done,
Oh,
right?
you got, oh, perfect.
You're done on septic.
Thank you.
Okay,
Now you can sit there and listen
okay,
to tobacco.
okay.
All right, so I have Kathy Mahoney's reports here. So it looks like there's been 3 inspections. The first one was October 18th of 2022, and there were prohibited products found. Bob, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
So, when we were able to obtain the tobacco collaborative from the state, we had the opportunity to go into each tobacco shop in town and provide them with education, signage, and any resources that they would need to be compliant. Because the fines changed dramatically from $50 for a first violation to $1,000. This is state mandated, so we don't have a choice. One establishment in town already had one. Second violation, $2,000. Third violation, $5,000.
Okay.
So, that was conducted. You got your educational experience.
Okay.
So,
So it looks like violations were found. Missing or incomplete documents certifying products are not flavored. Vape product with nicotine content over 35 milligrams per ml. Missing or incomplete manufacturer document displaying nicotine content of available vape products. Missing local border health or DOR permits. Missing signage, non-compliance with local cigar packaging pricing. So it looks like this looks like these must be the nicotine that was higher concentration than is allowed. Is that what I'm looking at, Bob?
Right.
Okay. And then. Okay, so education was provided after this inspection.
Yes, there were no fines issued.
Okay.
We just wanted to give everybody the opportunity. Here's what we found wrong. Here's
Okay.
what you do to correct it.
Okay, second visit was in December. December 16th. Was that just a follow-up on the last visit?
It was yeah, they do 2 inspections a year,
Okay,
but, they moved to that
It looks like
12/16.
missing document certifying products are not flavored, missing incomplete document displaying nicotine content of vape products. Oh, so that's what some of these were.
Right,
They didn't
yeah,
have
that
the
was-
content of nicotine.
Exactly. On the second visit, it was the Department of Revenue.
Gotcha, okay. And then, again, in April, now we have vape product with nicotine content over 35 and blunt wraps. And this looks like the same picture that from the first visit. That's my concern.
Yes.
It looks like
And
these are still,
the big difference was, on the first visit, those products were out for display.
okay,
On the third visit, the blunt wraps were in a back refrigerated cooler
Okay.
in the dairy, and the other products, and correct me if I'm wrong, were in a box that was open underneath the cash register.
and are these single cigars? Is that what this picture is?
They're the various products that
Okay,
you snap pictures of. And I happened to be there on that visit with Kathleen. And so they were not out for sale. You
But
can
they
make
were-
that clear.
okay. All right, so what are we doing with them? This says they're being held for, so in a back cooler in a box directly below the cash register. They were sent in by distributor and being held for credit. So what's the deal with the
So first time when she go there and she give a sign, because I don't have any sign and I don't see nobody in the Board of Health from the town. So she went there and she said, what is sign? I said, nobody coming, nobody give me sign. So she give me a lot of sign. I put it right away. And she said, you cannot sell this, you cannot sell that. I said, okay. So I take it off. It's two things, which is one is crave, 5%, and front to leaf. We have the leaf. So she said, do not sell the leaf. You can sell the cigar, which is roll. And no sell 5%, sell the 3% you can sell. Okay, that's fine. That's it for first time. Second time she went there, she saw all sign there and she was looking for a couple what they call license, which is I do have license. I was emailed. My accountant sent me the email. I don't have with me. So one of you guys employee here, she worked for me also. So I give it to her, hand it to her. I said, could you please give it to show him? So she came in, she showed him, so we all set for second time. Third time when they went there, I have stuff in the cooler because I waiting for credit. My guy coming to pick it up. He don't pick it up because I was rushing to go vacation. I was back home for almost 6 weeks. So that's why kinda stuffs, but as of right now, nothing in there and everything is clear. I don't leave anything in my store. No cooler, no nothing. I just take right
So it's
away.
all out now, you've
Everything
removed
all
it from the
out.
store.
Nothing in my store right now.
Okay. Thoughts? Anybody?
The day that I was in with you,
Yes.
my concern was the proximity to the register.
I would agree with that.
Meaning that it could or could not happen. I did not see it happen, but it would be far easier for it to happen in the location that it was located than taking it, boxing it up appropriately, marking it clearly not for sale, and putting it in a remote part of the store. Or like I made you do that day,
Yes.
put it in your car.
Yes, I did.
So, you didn't sell. I can't prove an intent to sell. However, forewarned would be forearmed. And we've always been here to help any of our establishments, food, tobacco, whatever, and offer the proper guidance, rules, regulations for that. Had you made a sale, it would be a $1,000 fine. Had you come across a second violation, it would be a $2,000 fine. We provided you that information back then. So I believe that we need assurance, because I've worked retail. Distributors can misselect. They're not the best distributors in Massachusetts, even though certain things are restricted. They shouldn't even get into the store. But once they do get into the store, it's the owner or worker's responsibility to make sure that there's literally no chance that that product gets into the hands of whomever. And there's, you know, we have to make it clear, in my opinion.
I agree. What did you say? I'm sorry, Bob. It's been a long day. What did you say the fine was? You said, what is it set? You said 50 for the first. What were you saying?
That's what it used to be.
Okay.
So until last year, when these rules came into effect, we could just say, okay, you had a blunt wrap, here's a $50 fine.
Yeah. So what are the rules
And people
now?
said, hey, wow, this is great. Well, you have to pay $50 if I get hit with it. So the state took over and said, okay, here we go. We're going to make a mass general law. Because other towns, when I was in Marshfield, it was 300. We went above, you know, whatever, which was actually above the state at the time.
Right.
We could do that.
So what does the state say?
So the state, I had Kathleen reach out to them, and they didn't come back with a verdict on a fine.
Okay,
And this mass law regarding tobacco, sale of tobacco, I think the key word is sale of,
Right.
not intent to,
yeah,
not possibility of.
Yeah, you get a proof of sale.
yeah,
That's how I would personally interpret
Yep.
what this says. However, we'd be remiss not to have MD at least come before you, explain what happened, and fully understand that.
okay.
I go in,
It's also been 6 months from the first visit to the last. You should have a credit slip by now, right?
Yes, but we changed our vendor. We used to have 4 mark, now it's J Polo. I think you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's kind of getting hard time. And those are stuff long time ago, which is I sell like last 2-3 years, because I never know I cannot sell the leaf.
Yeah.
So when I ask them to return or carry, they say it's been a long time. So I have a little bit argue with them. That's why I leave in the cooler.
All right, so my opinion, and you guys can chime in too. I agree with what you're saying, Bob. We have no proof of sale. I too am a little leery of the fact that they were so close to the register, though not on display. I feel like at this point, this is like the last hard warning without a fine. If we go back in there and we find that on the premises, then my opinion would be that some sort of fine we should come up with. Because I think it's been more than enough time. So you've removed it all from the store now?
Everything, nothing in
Okay.
my store.
So as long as we're clear that if, this happens again, be it 1 violation or 2, I think at that point we're gonna have to take, or at least it would be my opinion, to take a fine violation. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
Yep.
I think at this point, like you said, we've had 2 visits. We don't have proof of sale, but I feel like 0 tolerance from this moving forward as far as inspections go. Do you guys have any other thoughts?
No?
No, sounds good.
and that will lay the foundation that, okay, here
Yeah.
you go, hard final.
I get it. I mean, I'm sure you want to try and get your money back for it, but keep it at
Yeah, they still don't take it. They still
Yeah, it's beyond
Yeah,
return now.
Yeah, he called me other day. I just came back a couple of weeks ago from vacation, and he said, no, we cannot take it out because it's been a long time. I said, okay, so I have in my,
Dispose of it.
yeah.
dispose.
I know when I worked in the retail industry,
But
meats,
like I say, nobody go from town, say, hey, you cannot do this, that, never. I never say nobody. I've been in the store
Wait,
almost
hold
4
on.
years.
Kathleen was there.
Just one time. I never saw Kathleen before.
Right.
Yes.
She's from the town. She's
I know,
one of our
I'm saying like
officials.
front to leave and cigar. I don't know I can sell or not. That's I say. That's why I put in everything in the front, because I don't know. So when it's customer coming, they in the front.
Okay,
So-
but now you know.
Once I know,
Now you
no
know.
more. Yes.
Because it was told to you, the tobacco industry sent you all that information. So ignorance of the law does not mean that you did not know. It simply means that you did not fully understand, apparently, because that information was sent to every single tobacco retailer in the state
Not the Fonto.
from the state.
Right, not the Fonto, because Fonto, every state, every town different. Brockton you can sell. East Bridgewater, my store, other store, we
We're
can sell.
talking the wraps, which are clearly in our bylaw.
Right.
And you've been operating within this town, okay? And that's just something that we didn't catch,
Right.
okay? And some of the other products, so, yeah, Pronto, give you that one, okay? But I just want to make it clear that.
I understand.
It's your business.
Right.
And your responsibility.
Yep.
And ours to
Enforce.
enforce and first educate.
Yep. So I would say we've done the education, you're clear now of what cannot be there. And I would just be, if Kathy makes another inspection or Bob and they're in there, then my vote would be to move forward with fine. So just make sure it's not there.
Thank you, I appreciate
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Does that sound clear to everybody? In agreement on that?
Sounds
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
don't have to vote on that, seeing as how we're not fining him.
Right.
Okay,
But it will be duly noted in the minutes that we talked about, and you have my number,
Yes, I do.
so.
yeah, if you're
If it's
unsure,
septic,
call
if
him.
it's tobacco, pick up the phone and let me know
Okay.
you have a problem. My food establishments do that. Hey, Bob, I heard about a recall on, beef because it's got listeria.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, here, it's this lot number, it's this, it's that, it's that.
Okay.
I'm a resource.
I'll do that next time.
Well, good thinking.
Yeah.
Professional opinion. You know?
All right, thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have a nice evening.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Okay, agent report,
You're on.
Triad Fair.
Oh, that was cool.
Wait, then we didn't do Slide Lane?
Oh gosh, Leiden Lane.
Okay.
Sorry, Leiden Lane, that's the hoarding
Yes.
situation.
Is
Is there an update?
I finally got an appointment at Housing Court
Okay.
Friday
Okay.
morning.
This Friday?
This Friday?
Yeah, so I'll be
Okay.
there this Friday. After two other futile attempts, and the fact that they were closed this Monday because of Juneteenth,
Okay.
I couldn't get in. They're only open Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Oh, wow.
So I
Is
have
that
to try
Boston,
to
or-
work it in. No, it's actually Plymouth.
Okay.
Which I thought would be super convenient for me, except for every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I've been like busy, you know? So, it's still there. He did make a phone call
Yeah.
to the office and left no message, just said, well, it was Brian Donovan, and the phone number. Not asking me to come over and visit him, so
Yeah.
I'm going to Housing Court.
Okay.
What's the expectation in housing court? Like-
Hopefully, I can get an administrative search warrant.
Okay.
The clerk magistrate will decide that.
So that would be the goal of that, is for you to get in there and actually see what's going on? Okay, so that's what you're going to
And-
court for, to get access?
Just FYI, in the event that what I've seen externally is actually worse internally,
Yeah.
we might have to call an emergency meeting to post the house
Uninhabited.
unfit for human habitation,
Yeah.
Okay.
which would allow him the ability to go in and at least do cleaning or hire a company to do cleaning, but would mean that he's not gonna be able to live in the house, but could potentially live in the car. That also has complaints on it.
Now, with the, so if you get that administrative search warrant.
Which car? Yes, too.
Is that
Yes.
a case, would you need to show up with police?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't go.
Yeah, good.
I will show up with the police.
And a camera so we can see,
Oh.
get us some inside
Well, the police
scoops.
now have their things that they were.
Oh, that's right.
too.
See, we'll have both, we'll have body cam and my pictures, and I've got all the personal protective equipment that I expect to need to have
Hazmat
to
suit.
do it. Yeah, respirator.
Good.
whatever it is.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to come, don't have to, but,
Posted.
I mean, I'll come to the emergency meeting and look at the pictures.
right, that's all. And technically,
I'd go with you, Bob.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested, but I need advance warning, I can't show up like this. This is just not be.
we've tried
Not conducive.
so hard.
I know, we
Almost
have.
like with MD, we want to help.
I know.
Yeah.
Enforcement is
He
like
clearly has some
the
issues
last
going on.
step that we want to have to get to.
Yeah.
But we can't, like,
Well, this might be the
duck
method
our
that he needs.
responsibility.
No, you have getting a warrant and showing up at his door, and maybe that'll be the breaking point that he needs.
And I'm trying to get, the resources to help him with, without being a doctor, my belief that there's behavioral health.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
mental health
So-
issues there.
Let's see what we can do, try to keep the neighbors safe and
Right.
benefit him in the big picture.
Yeah.
All right. Triad Fair.
that was a blast.
Tell us all about it.
Okay, so Triad is a group that meets monthly through Council on Aging. And they ask for various people to just speak and tell them whatever they do. They had a guy who did the Appalachian Trail, they had Narcan from the police department, and
Nice.
they asked if I'd go and do a presentation on what does the health department do. So we had a lot of fun teaching them about what the health department does. Full slide presentation, question and answer session, and I saw the opportunity to bring in Maryland's Landing, because we've had various nuisance complaints on the activities that go on at the landfill site at the end over there.
Right.
And what we're doing, what they're doing, what, you know, just a general thing so that, you know, to me, misinformation might be worse than no information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just how it works, and that they're being fully regulated and monitored, and, you know, and then they weren't the only ones, but I just thought it was a good example to show sort of a gambit of what we do. You know, so worked out pretty well. Everybody really liked it. And had a few people in town asking me if I'd sign that little, was it the Halifax Plimpton Reporter?
Oh, nice.
Paper,
Yeah.
pictures in there. Oh, you're a star. Will you sign this for me? I said, not if you paid me. And real stars get paid for what they do. But anyway, no.
Great.
It was just great to educate, and we had fun.
Well, thanks for representing.
We also, just along the lines of helping the public and things, Peggy's done a lot of work updating, just trying to keep our website a little bit fresher.
Nice.
So we've added a tab on the left-hand side of our page that is wildlife fun facts.
Oh, nice.
So during coyote season, we post the coyote information.
Is there a bear tracker on there? Are we tracking the
There
bear?
is not a tracker, but yes, we did provide the do's and don'ts around a bear, you know? So that was pretty cool. We, on the main page, put out a full informational packet on summer fun, summer safety,
Perfect.
everything from mosquitoes to sunscreen and
Awesome.
swimming. And the one I have coming out next week, I believe, is going to be on Vibrio and norovirus from eating raw
Oysters. I saw you put that on the
oysters.
Facebook page. What a buzzkill you are, Bob.
Yeah, a lot of,
Made me think
a lot
twice.
of people eat that stuff.
You know?
I know.
And,
Education.
and
Then
one of
people
my
can make an
mottos
educated choice to whether or not they want to risk norovirus.
is the risk worth the reward?
Oh, they're so
If you've never had norovirus, you don't want to.
I've never taken till.
All right, thanks,
Right.
Bob.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Affirm bills paid. Can I get a motion to approve payroll for the week ending June 3rd and June 17th for Robert Valerie, Robert Bucher, Margaret Salter, Patricia Sanda, and Brian Kling?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Following to be approved, signed, and or voted on. All right. Can I get a motion to, well, we already signed the meeting
Very
minutes.
kind, yep.
So can I get a motion to approve expense account number 01-512-FY23-17, 1 through 6 as listed?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve revolving account number 25-513-FY23-21, 1 and 2 as listed?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the nursing services account number 01-522-FY23-12?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Can I just do the rest of them as listed, Bob? Do I have to read them all?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve E, F, G, H? IJK, bills as listed.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh gosh, there's your hazmat stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Issue covers, respirator mask,
So
air
that-
quality monitor. Ooh, a translator.
Yeah, pocket talks.
Nice.
That's all through the grant.
Nice.
So even though we're approving it, I now currently have also a board through the 6 communities. We found that the inspectional equipment that the towns currently have is either non-existent or, and I have to thank Kathy Dryan. I've got most of this stuff. She was able to obtain it through a different grant years ago, but these towns don't, so they're like, you know, not up with the times. For example, the noise thing that we had at Glenn's,
Yeah.
they don't even have a noise meter.
Wow.
They could not have conducted the inspection. So with the grant funding, the money's there, I have to return anything unused at the end of fiscal '23. I said, guys,
What do you need?
you vote, and if you decide and the state says it's in the allowable expenses,
Yeah, right.
we'll buy.
Cool.
So we're really helping them out.
All right. Any concerns with any of the food permits listed here, Bob, before we vote and approve on these?
No, they're all good.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve permits A through T with the condition that all required documents are submitted to the Board of Health office?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Without further ado, can I get a motion to adjourn the Halifax Board of Health meeting for Wednesday, June 21st at 7:14 PM?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.